Welcome to Mere Mortals, episode 6.
Sponsored by
The Boys.
The Boys.
Very good.
I've been, I've already been, people have given me comments that I'm sponsored by Coke. So today, so from now on, whatever the tagline is on
where's
Coke.
all this money going? Hey, what?
I don't know.
Oh man, I'm not seeing a dime of that.
Sponsored by The Boys.
So, for the audience, episode this week will be on structuring your workout.
Yep.
And we'll get into some of the topics. I've got a couple of interesting things here, starting from how I first started and going into, I suppose, the higher level that we're at now. Probably you're even higher than me because you've been doing this. How many years have you been gymming now?
I have been going to the gym, I think collectively without, having massive periods of off time with it.
Yeah.
I reckon I'll be closing in on 9 years.
Okay.
Yeah, 9 years.
Cool. Yeah, I've been probably around 6.5 now.
Yep.
Yep. So you got those extra couple of years of wisdom.
Yeah. Well, I reckon
I
I actually first began training when I was 16.
Yeah.
So that would make it 11 years.
Yeah.
But I remember doing it for a little bit, then I stopped, then I did swimming for a long time.
Yeah.
And then I got kind of back into it halfway through university.
Okay.
And then really kickstarted from there. So I think year 12 I did a little bit.
Yeah.
But it was mostly just swimming.
Yeah.
That was what I mainly did.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. Similar to me, I think I actually went for a summer in between high school, went to the gym and just didn't particularly enjoy it then. And I was still playing a lot of soccer back then.
Yep.
So I was playing soccer from 10 years old until 21.
Yep.
And then when I turned 21, that was when I started. 20. 20 was when I started hitting the gym.
Hitting the gym more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. All right. First of all, as usual, any mere mortal moments this week?
I do.
I know you got
two.
a couple. Look at you.
I got two. So the first one is I've slightly mentioned it to you. This was, I don't even have something that I made up for it, but last Sunday, you know, sometimes people think, this guy's, always proactive. They're always working, doing things. Last Sunday, I spent it doing nothing. I just legitimately did nothing the whole day. I just slept and watched videos.
Yeah.
So that was a full mere mortal level. Me just doing absolutely nothing. Nothing productive.
What was the reasoning for that?
Oh, it's just we had our 10-year high school reunion.
We did on a Saturday night.
The night before that, I'd also had been out for a little while, so I was just, tired. I was just tired. It was time to get, some rest.
Yep.
So that's my first level, mere mortal one.
Okay.
Nothing. There was no upside there. No upside. No, I literally cooked.
Yeah.
I ironed and I watched some videos. That's it.
It sounds like something a mere mortal.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. But the second one was last week when we had Joey, the man himself, the Swedish-speaking bald man glow up. I told a story about the Infinity Hotel.
Yeah.
And I knew as soon as I finished, I was like, I bet I butchered this. There's going to be something I got that wrong. So it wasn't Alpha Zero, nor was it Alpha Null. It was actually Aleph Null. So forgive me for the fact that it was...
To be honest, I liked the first way you said it. That makes me even more confused.
Yeah. So, and it's actually... So I ended up, putting it through now. For anyone looking at the video, this is Aleph. Oh, man. That was horrible.
Yeah.
Let me try again. It's like that. And this is
squiggly. I've seen that.
Anyways, that's Aleph.
No. There you go.
So there you go. That was my second mere mortal moment last week where I was like, well,
it's all right.
Thought I knew it. Didn't even know it. But I predicated that story on the fact that I said
you did.
The following could be very wrong. So
I think a real, a wise person there would then be like, I'm just going to shut up now.
I just won't tell the story. I just won't tell the story. Yeah, no. But that didn't happen.
No, it's good. I enjoyed it. I had two, a good and a bad.
Yep.
Bad one. So my girlfriend from Colombia recently arrived on about 10 days ago. And at the reunion, it was a long night. She'd arrived 3-4 days earlier, and she was feeling jet lag, and I was just feeling a bit tired. Wasn't I enjoyed it, but I think I knew from the start, from the get go, I'm not going to have a big night, a big night, staying out till 3 a.m. or whatever. And we got to about 10:30. Was a couple of drinks in. Was feeling good, but also I was feeling tired. And Andrea had also mentioned she was feeling tired as well. and we're just sitting on a couch, sort of just doing our own thing, chatting. And someone came up and they're like, "Oh, do you want to dance?" And immediately,
really?
Yeah. And immediately I was like, "Oh no, Andrea's feeling a bit tired. She's still a bit jet lagged," and we're like, "Oh, we think we'll chill out." And speaking later, afterwards, I realized she actually did want to dance, but when she realized like I was using her as an excuse not to dance, that was a realization like, oh shit, I'm using her like it's me. It was me who didn't want to dance.
Yeah.
So this conflicts a little bit with one of my long-term goals, which is trying to get as much as I can to the truth and speaking honestly. And it's not like it was really affecting anyone the way I did it, but for me, I don't want to be the sort of person who uses others as an excuse. So that was a mere mortal moment.
That's a good call.
And trying to fix that as best as I can.
Yeah.
One of the good things though was I've been adapting a little bit to her being here. Obviously, she's very keen to see a lot of the things, do a lot of the things here.
See the animals.
Yep. So we went to Australia Zoo, had a really good time there. Amazing place. I was, after being in Chile and in Santiago and seeing the zoo there, it depressed me a lot. After that, I was like, oh, I don't think I want to go to any more zoos. You see, they have like a bunch of flamingos and half of them are like missing legs or have like prosthetic legs or something. Yeah, it was really messed up, man. Really grey concrete jungle. The animals weren't having a lot of fun there. Apart from the only one that was having fun was like the red panda. So I was like, oh man, if it was having fun there, imagine how much fun it'd be having in Australia Zoo. Couldn't even find it. It was like up in the tree somewhere sleeping the whole time.
Yeah, okay. It was having that much fun and it wanted to sleep.
Yeah. And but no, I'm a very structured person. Getting onto the topic of today. And I usually have some sort of list of like things I want to get done in the day, and usually it's a daily recurring thing. So I want to try and get in my Spanish practice. I want to do my stretching, a workout, reading. And I've had to drop a lot of those off to spend a bit more time going out with her, doing things she wants to do. And I think I've handled that relatively well. Usually I get up myself, like a little bit of self-criticism, like you're not doing the things you want to do. But I also want to spend time with her. I want her to be happy. And, I'm having a lot of fun going out and you're sort of seeing your city with new eyes again.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. When you have someone who hasn't explored a single city, you kind of, you see that, oh, yeah, there's a cool place or a different place, like perhaps going to South Bank or something like that. You're a little bit like...
For sure. So, yeah, that was I suppose, a good moment for me. Not falling into a trap that I have fallen into the past about letting things slip. Imagine if I was just like, she came here and then I just basically locked her in the room. It was like, I'm going to do what I want. And then maybe if we have time afterwards, we can do something. I'll take you for a walk.
Sounds like a great relationship.
Oh, man. it would work out really well.
I'd love to see how that would work out.
Yeah. So, no, it's that's been really good.
Yeah, good. All right, well, that's good for the preamble. I reckon we get right into it. Structuring your workout.
Yep.
One of the things I thought about when we first thought of this topic was the fact that we might actually discuss it a little bit too in depth in the side of, lifting weights / perhaps, running / maybe some calisthenics sort of style. But I guess I'll make sure as well that we're talking a little bit more broadly, because I know people, if they're listening to it and their workout might actually be swimming or it might be just jogging or something like that.
Yeah.
I guess keep it a little bit more broad.
Yeah, for sure.
But we'll use some of the definitions or some of the details based on what we know and what we do to actually structure the workout and everything. So.
Yeah. Cool. Nice. So for me, it always has to start with, what is your goal? What are you trying to achieve?
Yep.
So I listed a couple of things. You could be doing it to look good, to build strength, to be mobile, to be slimmer.
Yep.
Usually there's a purpose, perhaps even, if it's more of a social sport sort of thing, you're looking to make new friends and things like that. So it's not necessarily one goal that fits to all. You have different purposes for why you're you're
doing what you're doing.
Yeah, exercising.
Mm-hmm.
And you really have to keep that in mind with how much you want to be doing of it, what sort of level you want to go to.
Yep.
So you really need to have that in mind, I think, at the start, before you jump in and look on YouTube or Google and see what people recommend.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You're gonna see.
You're gonna be led by people going with whatever they they want. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're gonna find a whole variety of things as usual. The information overload.
Yep.
So first you have to decide what is it that you want to do, and try and get your aims right.
Yeah.
How do you approach that? Would you say that's a place you'd start off at?
Yeah, and I guess I had a little bit of a drawing for it because at the moment I'm loving setting up, how would I call it? Frameworks for it, I would say.
Yeah.
So the way I sort of would draw it out, it would be best draw it. I'm just trying to think if I draw it on here or not. Would be framing it, framing it across overall is that goals.
Yeah.
So whatever people wanting to structure your workout, first of all, like I think we've talked about this now twice or three times.
Yep.
You got to know what it is that you want to do, whether it's you want to run a kilometer sub 3 minutes, you want to run a marathon sub 2 hours.
Yeah. As recently done.
Whatever it is that your goal is, lift 100 kilos for X amount of reps.
Yeah.
Whatever, you got to have a particular goal. Could be defined goal, could be really broad goal. So, but still, you got to have that overarching goal. So that's the first thing I see. The second one would be within that. Then it runs in a bit of a cycle. So once you actually have that structure of, this is my goals that I want to be going. So let's just say I want to run 100 meters in 15 seconds. So goal, cool, frames the whole picture. Then you go into, I would say, a cycle. So that cycle of whatever it may be would be how you would set up a amount of time that you're going to be going after that particular goal. Okay. So that goal then gets framed around a particular timeline. So it might be...
So the cycle would be based on a time period or based on a list of things that you want to do?
No, I guess in the way that I'm thinking about it, it would go time period. So might go 3 months. So this goal, I want to achieve it in 3 months. Yeah. Cool. So I'm framing it. That's it, going to be in 3 months. Then within those 3 months, I'm going to split it up into some sort of cycle. So whether it is, for us, from a lifting perspective, we might split things up in a weekly sort of lifting style. So some people can do it in, over 7 days within a week. You might do chest and back, legs, whatever, in some sort of, breakup. And you would cycle that across over those 3 months or 2 months or a month or whatever it is, the time period you want to allow for that.
Yeah.
In running, you might be doing something like Monday, you run X, Wednesday, you run whatever, Friday, you do this run. So you do 3 runs in a week.
Yeah.
You might call that a cycle of the week, and you might do a repetition of 12 of those to get you 3 months to try to attain that particular goal.
Yeah, yeah.
Those cycles, that's where a little bit more of what you're saying with the research starts coming into it, and how you're going to do it, what techniques, what applications, what methodologies, but it's all framed by the goal. Because you got to know the goal first to actually go and do that.
Yeah.
And then the third thing I reckon I'd say would be then, I've got it here as like a bit of a across the bottom of it, but it's still within your goals, is then for it to be actually measurable. So getting a little bit back to when we're talking about SMART goals, say it's going to be specific, and measurable. So the measurable bit of it would be making sure you measure at the start what you're at, what's the starting point, and then going, okay, well, what's the end point that I want to be getting to? So here, your end point would be that 15-second 100 meters.
Yeah,
you might start measuring it at every cycle or at every week or at every fortnight or something to get some sort of basis of that progression. So that once that period goes through, you go, okay, cool, I've been, I started here. These are measurable things that I improved. Did I make it? Yes, no. If I didn't, then you got a little bit of data to go, okay, this is why I might not have. Was it too hard to go for it in the first place in 3 months?
Yeah.
And then that whole block of goal, essentially, you can then copy and paste over to a new one for, okay, say you did make it, okay, and you want to go 100 meters for 14 seconds. Okay, well, you copy and paste that. You again figure out, okay, what's the time length for it? What's the cycle? What's the measure? Go and do it. So that's how I see my training at a really high level. Because when I think about it, my workout structure is the goal. We set our goals monthly in terms of things we want to do. I have those that I set up. And that's overarching for everything. And then I build my weekly or monthly sort of lifting schedule into a weekly pattern. So that's my cycle, if you will.
Yeah.
And then I'll do 4 of those in a month, typically.
Yeah.
And I'll measure that up against lots of measures, whether it's the goals that I'm lifting, total volume, everything in between around that.
Yeah.
Quantitatively and qualitatively. And at the end of it, then I'll go, okay, cool. Once a month's gone, we'll assess how to go. Did it go good, bad? And then I'll reassess another month block. So that's kind of how I sort of see it.
Yeah. And were you doing this from the start, you think?
No, definitely not. I think at the very start, it was a little bit more... When I structured my workouts, it was Monday's chest day.
Yeah.
Wednesday's legs day, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Get into the gym and just train as hard as I can.
Yeah.
And just see what you get. Especially when I used to go more at the start with like friends. So it was more like get in there, socialize, talk, lift a bit of weight.
Yeah.
Didn't take until a couple of years that I started going, okay, let's track it a little bit to see the progress, both that and the food and everything. And now, I mean, the stage of that I'm talking about with the whole monthly goals and blah, 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 with all the measuring and cycles of it. I think that only really started maybe 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
But now I feel it, especially this year, it's a lot more like defined, more detailed.
Yeah.
It's in a state that I'm like, I know exactly what I'm trying to get out by the end of the month. And then I know what the next month holds and how it's rolling up into the overall year.
Yeah.
So,
interesting. So you saw some real good social gains at the your first couple of years, and then
those social gains are galore. I was doing like four sets of talking by 20 reps, 20 minutes. I was doing 4 sets of talks, 20-minute each interval. With some in between bench sets. That was definitely my first couple of.
The bench was like your recovery period.
Yeah, recovery period. I feel like I got to stop talking.
My jaw's hurting. Jaw's hurting.
Yeah. So I got some good jaw workouts in the beginning. So and then it began fading away. So but so I think does that sort of, and I guess that structure that I talked about, would that fit what you currently do as well now?
Rings a bit true. Very similar with you at the start. I just sort of Googled. I think I actually got my first lifting advice from a channel called Bro Science Life.
Is that the guy who?
He's Dom Mazzetti, something like that.
The funny guy.
Yeah. It was a comedy. It was a comedy. It was
the perfect place to get your information.
Exactly. But I mean, you got to start off somewhere. So, for the got those sort of just initial gains from doing a workout.
Yep.
First time I did deadlifts, I thought I'd broken my back. You get that delayed onset muscle soreness. I had that for probably like 6 days afterwards. I thought my spine had somehow like been crushed together or something. I don't know. It was terrible.
Fused your spine in the first deadlift session.
I honestly it was. I thought my bones were hurting. I didn't even realize I had muscles in my back. And that was a real mere mortal learning experience. Couldn't do a pull up. Trying to do a pull up, just physically couldn't do it. A lot of just struggling. A lot of struggling at the start. And then for probably like 2-3 years, I trained relatively okay. I was training 3 days a week, and I would put the effort in. Like probably not. I never go as hard as you. I don't think. Like I think my just base level of getting at it is a little bit less, but I'm very consistent.
That's a good thing.
And I just didn't really progress much until I realized, I need to be eating more to be putting on muscle to allow my body to grow and gain that strength.
Yeah.
So that was an interesting start point, and then I suppose in the last 3 years I've been a lot more structured. Have managed to work my way up to being able to do a workout basically every day, with just breaks chucked in when I'm feeling tired, which is I'm never so tired that I need to have like a break. It's usually when I get sick or I need to do something for the full day. It's going to last a full day. I don't have time to fit in a workout.
Yeah, and I mean I feel like I've gone past the point. I used to be definitely like this. I'm sure people feel like this as well. I know it, that even when you're sick, there would be some days that you'd get sick and you'd be like, oh man, I can't believe I'm missing the gym. I'm missing my session. I'm missing whatever. When nowadays, you understand like, okay, well, that's okay. Good. Like a day isn't going to take you back.
Yeah.
You might need to rest, rest it up. It's actually better to do that than just push on and then be wrecked for whatever it may be.
It's the longer time periods where you'll see
the improvement.
Well, no, if you take a long time period off. So the first, I suppose, long time period I had off was when we went to Japan, and I was sick before it. So that was probably a good 4 weeks of me not getting we did a couple of workouts in Japan.
Yeah.
One got called The Lord. The
Lord.
Old lady came up. Wasn't impressed.
No, she wasn't.
Daimyo. The Daimyo.
But we have told that story.
Yeah, we have. Needs to be repeated.
Apparently. Yeah. No, I was just going to say I do recall the first time, I think it was I went to the US in 2014, and I think I had 5 weeks off from the gym.
Yeah.
And I came back, and same as you were saying, and I'd been training that for a couple of years, and I did squats when I came back. First session, I was like, I'm going to get into it. Couldn't even do 40% of like what I was squatting at that point.
Yeah.
But the next day, I felt like I just crippled. I couldn't even walk. I was like had to like roll out of bed. Like, oh my god, what's happened? I've been shot. That was so bad. It was terrible. But from structuring workouts, I guess some ways that it probably can help people out, or at least facilitate some of the stuff that we're talking about, would be talking about some failures. Because I've got a couple of things that maybe I could share. That maybe you'd be like, oh, okay. That might be a way to not structure your workouts to get some ideas. So a couple of things that I've tried. I've tried doing double workouts every day, every weekday, but not on the weekends. So weekends would be one session pretty much.
Yeah, so that's
the equivalent of 12 sessions a week.
12 sessions.
And people who, from swimming perspective, people train above that easily. Easily above that. Yeah. So we used to train twice a day.
Yeah.
Every day.
Before school, after school. What did you do on weekends as well?
I think it was just a one session on the weekend. So it was 12. I would do 12 sessions.
Same,
yeah. But people who do triathlons, people who do marathons, they're training. Training as in like they're doing the running or the swimming.
Yeah.
Multiple times, 12, 15, 20 times. Yeah. Right. So you can do it. I'm not saying it isn't. It's like impossible. Don't do it. CrossFit people do like 4 times a day. So it can be done. What I found though, for like a very human individual who has work or has everything else, doing double sessions every day will have you wrecked unless you have some sort of way unless you're genetically inclined to be recovering like immediately after your workouts. I found just double sessions to be just not a good thing. But more so than that, even if I did so, essentially I was doing 12 sessions or whatever a week.
Yeah.
Nowadays I'm doing 9 sessions a week. But I'm seeing right now way more gains out of 9 sessions a week than I was doing 12 sessions a week.
Yeah.
But even comparatively when I was doing 5 sessions a week, I was still getting more benefits than the 12 sessions a week. So you got to let your body sort of rest, and that's sort of one of the things I found out.
Yeah.
Like, from all of that.
Yeah. Do you think it was taking like a hit lifestyle perspective as well that was like translating into maybe less sleep or, affecting you in other ways outside of directly the gym? So, for example, if you're going twice, you're going to have twice as much travel to and from the gym, twice as much time, preparing, putting on your workout stuff, getting ready, getting
So there was definitely like some, obviously, you got to put away the time then if you're doing it that much to be able to go and actually do it. But I think it was like directly to the performance of working out. It was more so my CNS system, so your central nervous system. That just like you need to let that recover when you lift heavy.
Yeah.
If you're doing it just so often, you just can't recover, and essentially you're going.
I don't know what lifting heavy is.
Yeah, you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know what that means. You wouldn't know what that means. But essentially, you essentially get to this point where you kind of like, you get to this peak, and then you just keep trying to push hard, and you slowly, like gradually, go down because you're pushing it. It just can't keep going.
Yeah.
And there's a bazillion different graphs I can demonstrate, but there isn't about this. So I guess that was one of the failing things. I was like, okay, structuring my workout for whatever it is, I shouldn't be just thinking that more volume or more reoccurrence of it is necessarily going to be a good thing.
Yeah, okay.
So for someone starting up or someone just getting into it, going 3 times a week is probably going to be just as good as going 10 times a week. Because you're going to get just as much response. You're not going to recover fast enough if you're going 10 times a week. Especially when you're at the starting phases, when someone's sort of just getting into a workout or whatever it may be, your body super compensates at the start. because whatever you like, literally whatever you do, you're gonna get some improvements, some benefits out of it. It's once you get to like the advanced levels that you got to eke that extra couple of percentage.
Yeah,
that's when you got to really start, doing some advanced things. But at the start, basic sort of training, whether it's running, swimming, whatever,
can be
that's more than enough.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I was just thinking like if I'd tried to do like set a daily workout when I first started, it would have been really hard.
Yeah,
really hard.
Imagine if you read something and they were like, yeah, you can get some excellent lifts. You've got to do 4 double sessions and then 3 single sessions. Yeah. You would actually probably go in there being like, oh yeah, I'm going to be good. And on the second day, you would just being like, that's it. I'm never going to come back here again. I'm so tired. I'm so sore. You just wouldn't do it. So you got to like build it gradually to get that volume into the body, whatever it may be, whether it's swimming, running, whatever.
That's actually a little thing. It's hard choosing where to get your advice from sometimes because you'll see someone who's at a very elite level and you can tell that by their body shape, their sort of reputation, and they're going to talk about what they're doing, and what they're doing is insane.
Yeah.
But for the beginner just looking at it, they're going to be like, that's not the advice they need. They maybe need the intermediate who's maybe just slightly a bit above them, 1 or 2 years, and then they looking at them and be like, oh, okay, that's something reasonable. I can train 3-4 days a week.
Yeah.
And, I do have the time to do that, whereas the Olympic level athlete is, their whole life is devoted to
this, yeah. So, well, and that's what I say, like, it's good to be able to see someone who's, at a super high level and go, cool, use that as motivation or, anything that you actually need. But to actually structure a workout, I would use those 3 key things, because one, the goals is going to be to you. You can't just be saying like, oh, I'm going to run faster than Usain Bolt next month. Like, does that make sense? I don't think it does.
Maybe not for you, but
yeah, maybe. I know you're getting there. You're getting there. I'm trying to run that in a marathon at that speed. So, first you got to have your goal, which is going to be individualistic to you. Like what else are you going? Why are you going to set up a goal for Kyrin? I'm not setting up a goal for someone else. So, and we'll get a little bit to that as to why we got some points here, and to sort of try to explain why we do some of these things. So you set up the goal, you build in what sort of cycle you want to do it, because then it allows you to have a think about, well, can I train twice? Can I train 4 times a week? Can I do 3 times a month? Whatever it may be to that particular goal. Because again, it's got to be to the person. If you're working 100-hour days, the 100-hour days.
Oh,
damn, you're working hard.
I knew there was some reason I wasn't at the level of Bill Gates yet. Should have been working 100-hour days.
100-hour days, man. You got to do 100-hour days, or else you're not getting the high levels. Yeah, so if you're doing 100-hour weeks, you might not have that much time to socialize or train. Nothing, so you got to be realistic on what you're actually going to be doing for it. So understanding what's going to be your cycle and then measuring that. So that's going to set up anyone to actually structure it correctly. And then it's only within that cycle that you want to get the specifics from someone. So if it's, again, Olympic lifting, you might want to understand how to, what sort of patterns do you have to do. If you're doing normal lifting, you can have programs that are like your 5-3-1. You can have German volume training. You can have undulating training. You can have super competition training. You can have 5x5s. There's a ton load of different things. And that just sits in that cycle, in your cycle.
Yeah.
But those are just 3, and then you measure it. And then those are the 3 key things you need to have to structure your workout. Whatever else is aside from that, you can use higher level people for motivation. You can look at someone who's just a little bit above you to go, oh, okay, maybe that's the goal I want to be going for. Cool. And then understand how to actually build it. So that's maybe where you would be beneficial to ask someone like, you are doing 20% more on squats than me.
Yeah.
What are you currently training at now? Or what did you do just previously to get that?
There, yeah.
Awesome. So then you can go and replicate that sort of structure of training to get to that level.
Yeah.
But at least you have some sort of structure to actually go on and do it.
Yeah. So have you done that much with, you'd see people in the gym? Because for me, I suppose most of my structuring came from online people, because I just didn't, I don't interact that much with people in the gym. When I'm there, I want to be doing my workout. Although nowadays, obviously, I'm going in with you and a couple of other friends. So
I would say that, mainly it's been online. And whether it's been through forums or like reading a lot of articles.
Yep.
That's probably been the majority of it. And everyone kind of go through the phases where you'll first look at the really top pros.
Yeah.
You'll just go straight to the pros and be like, oh, I'm doing swimming.
Yeah.
Cool. How's Ian Thorpe and Michael Phelps swimming? Oh,
Yeah.
they're swimming. I think they do something like, I'm trying to recall back to Ian Thorpe or Phelps. I think they swim 170 kilometers a week.
Oh, Jesus.
So when you think about it, right? You think about it, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, cool. So that means you're going to swim 170 kilometers.
Yeah.
Good luck. Good luck. You're going to be sleeping in the water. There's no way you're going to have 170 kilometers in
No,
a
you
week.
just. I'd probably, if that was my goal, I'd probably just go into the ocean and just let the ocean carry me.
Yeah, 170 kilometers, and then come back and be like, cool, I'm
Yeah.
ready to do the Olympics.
Yeah, exactly.
So everyone starts at that level where you look at it at the highest level and go, yep, that's what I've got to go for.
Yeah.
And then you start realizing, okay, well, it's got to be a lower level. And then I started more researching about, people maybe just a little bit higher in a powerlifting sense or in a bodybuilding sense and what they sort of trained
Yeah.
to get an idea of, okay, cool, that's what it is. And then after many years of sort of trialing, I got to a level of, okay, I kind of know what programs I like, what
Yeah.
programs work for me, what I'm actually going for. Because this was the other one I was going to talk about was with structuring your workout, you've got to be so if you're training for the first year or two, give or take, okay, whatever you're doing, you're going to be improving it like in all directions, all manners. So if you never ran before, I can guarantee you that if you just do a little bit of running for a couple of weeks, your 100-meter time is going to get better, your marathon time is going to be better, your 1 kilometer run time is going to be better. It doesn't matter. You don't have to even focus about anything.
Yeah.
Once you get past that basic sort of level of beginner gains, essentially,
Yeah.
you're going to get to a point that you have to pick and structure your workout towards one of the extremities of all of them. So there is a dichotomy that you can balance in terms of you can try to be strong and lean and, train with high volume and run really well. You can do all those things, but you're going to see very slow gains, like super slow gains.
Yeah.
If you want to get really good at something really quickly, then you've got to prioritize it. And to prioritize it, you're going to be going away from the other spectrum. So some of the ones that I like sort of listed is nowadays, I will particularly set up my monthly goals or my cycles or whatever it may be to go, okay, this month is going to be for strength.
Yeah.
Which means my lifting or my particular things are going to be more aligned to that.
Yeah.
And my fitness / volume training is going to go down. So I can expect that not to be either I want to try and hold it, or it's going to go down slightly. But it's my strength that I'm going to be trying to bring it up really quickly. What I found in structuring the workouts is if I do the first month for just strength and the second month just for volume, at the end of those 2 months, those two levels will be higher than if just from month 0 to month 2, I just going, okay, well, I'll do both of them at the same time and just see how good I get. I ended up finding that second month, I'm actually getting better overall levels than if I'd not done it that way. So I think from my perspective, I'm going to get yours. I think you have to go for one or the other. You can't go for both. Same with if you're structuring your workout, as you were saying, you want to lose weight 3 months. You really wouldn't structure. I guess it's more beneficial to say in 3 months, I want to drop body fat to this. Yeah. And you can change your body composition or whatever, but you really wouldn't be trying to go, okay, in 3 months, if you're kind of advanced, in 3 months, I want to go from 80 to 90 kilos and drop body fat from 20% to 10%. That is two polarities of things that's happening. You're not going to, especially if you're an advanced trainer, you ain't doing that. Yeah. But you could do maybe one of them. Yeah. But the other one's going to, slide a little bit, but you got to realize that.
For sure. And as you said, the both of those ways are pulling in opposite directions. So, you do have to prioritize. I've found that as well. I've probably noticed I do it more with an exercise. So I'll say I want to get really good at this one thing, and you can sort of do it with a couple that way. So for me, I suppose the ones that come to mind the most were one, learning to handstand for the first time. I started off pretty light. I was doing a lot more gym. It was probably like 3 or 4 days of gym and then 3 days of like calisthenics. So doing an outdoor workout. And I was just gradually adding it in, maybe like, 4 sets at the end of a workout for something else. Yep. And, just gradually putting it in there until now I have 3 days solely dedicated to handstands. Just to them. And that's because I wanted to get good at it. and you will see progress doing it that way.
Yep.
And I'll give you a quick story as well of when I went too far with that as well. So I'd never really set myself a goal where it was like, I have to do this. Like, this is something that has to get done. And towards about the midpoint of my travels,
Yep.
I said to myself, I want to do a press to stand. And press to stand is essentially a handstand where you start with both your hands and feet on the ground, and then you're just lifting your feet up into it. Oh, this will be a good drawing. Oh, you nailed it. That looks like a hangman, I think.
That's pretty much it, right?
Is that my neck? Oh, Jesus. Very good.
Broken back.
Yeah.
But yes, yep. Press to stand, yep.
And so that was in the end of September. So I gave myself 3 months. I was like, I want to get this done before the end of December, before the new year. And I worked my ass off for it. I was doing 5 days a week of just handstands. I got to the point where every session I was coming into it and I was sore just everywhere. Like my wrists were sore, my arms, like I was even feeling it like in the traps. I noticed my traps
Or like getting tight and locking in.
They were getting tight and bigger. Like that was when I was like probably one of the only times I've ever seen really rapid gains in just one certain area.
Yeah.
And I went too far, man. I did that for probably about two months and I realized like, I can't do this anymore. This is just killing me.
Yeah.
Like my wrist started doing weird things like cracking in ways I've never heard before. I was just exhausted, man. Just mentally, it was messing me up. And because I was mentally messed up, I couldn't give 100% for each session.
Yeah.
So that's where I had to like dial it back down. And now I think I was doing 4 sessions for a bit as well. And even now I think the optimal is like 3 sessions a week of just handstands.
Yeah.
And even that, it could maybe be a little bit too much.
Yeah, well, it's one of those thought patterns like, you could do four handstand sessions at 70%, and overall in the week you might do 280%.
Yeah.
But if you did 3 at 100%, then you're doing more.
Yeah,
you're doing better.
Exactly.
So, it might be in that sort of thought path.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, interesting.
Cool. All right, so getting into maybe a little bit more detail. So you've got your long-term goal in place, what you want to be doing, or at least like, maybe a midterm goal. So your long-term goal could just be, I want to be fit.
Yep.
Your midterm goal could be, I want to build strength. So I'm going to put on muscle and get stronger. Getting down into then you've structured your workouts for the week or for the time period. So I'm going to be doing chest and arms on this day, back and legs on this day. Or, if you're doing running, you may be saying, I'm going to do high intensity training on the Monday, maybe a bit of a longer distance on another day, and then another day will be just purely stretching.
Yep.
Just to, open up the joints and whatnot.
Yep.
So for you, when you say you've got a chest and arms day, or what sort of day would you have now? What's a day you have in your routine
chest and
now?
back.
Chest and back? How would you structure that? How would you
okay, so we get
into that? Like a little bit more details.
Okay. Whew.
So I can start off with a couple of mine, how I do that. So I always try and put the hardest exercise, not the hardest, the one I want to improve in the most at the start.
Yep.
And I like sticking to fundamentals, to basics. So that's going to be, if it's like a chest one, it's going to be the bench press. If it's going to be for the back, it'll be deadlifts. If it's going to be for the legs, it'll be squats. I don't think I've ever had any of those exercises in the like second third of my workout. It's always been right at the start. And I suppose one of the reasons for that is you can give it your all at the start with those ones. And if you're doing any machine-based workouts, I feel you just don't need to have that high level, that peak focus that you would with a
free weight.
With a free weight.
Yeah.
So I've always started off like that. I've always kept my workouts going over 4 weeks just to make sure. So I'll have, each week I'll have, let's say, 3 sessions. And then I do the same 3 sessions for each week.
Yep.
And I do that over 4 weeks. One thing that's just allowed me to do is, I suppose, keep myself accountable. And when I'm recording, I can sort of take the average for those weeks and be like, okay, this is the sort of level I'm at. Because as you very well know, you can be super strong one week, and then the next week you're like,
just whatever you might be feeling.
Turn me into a slug and step on me because I can't do shit.
Yeah.
Grouping exercises for me to the body part. So like you said,
doing like I guess before you get there, because I wanted to ask you that question, and so we'll broaden it out.
Yeah.
Just to define mine, so I can specify it for individual.
Yeah.
So similar, I would go with what priority thing I'm looking to do in that day. So chest and back, I deprioritize back because I'm training it so often through the week anyways.
Yeah.
I prioritize, so chest will always come, so I'll do it first.
Yeah.
Then I'll normally, this would be 90% of the time, I prioritize doing compound movements first.
Yeah.
Now, unlike you, because I know that you structure your workouts, so you write down specifically, you know before going into each session, this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I went through a period where I did that a lot. Then I went through a period where I just kind of like what felt like I wanted to do and just trained as hard as I could, sort of thing.
Yeah.
I find like a bit of a happy medium.
Yeah.
Where now I go in, not really knowing that I'm going to do whatever. It's just kind of what it feels like that day.
Yeah.
But I know what my 80% of a lift is, what my 70% of a lift is. So when I'm doing it, I'm like, okay, I'm going to go for a new PB in whatever area that I'm doing it. But normally, so here chest, I will always do like a compound movement first. Normally with barbell bench press or an incline dumbbell or incline barbell.
Yeah.
Then I'll move into more what's called isolateral, isometric movements, where it's a little bit more where it's machines, cables, and you can actually stress more individual fibers across the different layers. So for chest, you have 3 splits for the chest, your mid, top, and your bottom. So then I can actually do a little bit more isometric movements on it and do specific, whether it's one side, where it's double. But when I'm fresher, I'll go and do the heavier compounds, the heavier lifts. You can do it after you do all that sort of stuff. For me, I just feel like I get more enjoyment doing it earlier. It's probably the same thing. You get the same sort of stresses, same sort of movement and gains out of it. So notwithstanding, and then I move on to, say, the back movements, and that might be whatever. The other thing, though, that I know that you probably haven't looked into this yet is, so because of the way that I train over the week, and I do, say, at the moment 9 times in the week of sessions. Yeah. What I try to do is an overall volume over the month to get a bit of a reading of how much I'm doing. Yeah. But to do that, I then bring it all the way back into weeks. And what I try to do is, so I'm not overloading my muscles too much, because obviously in terms of recovery, what I try and tend to do is on the days, on the muscle groups I'm training 2 times a week, I normally try and do 12 to 15 sets per workout session. Yeah. The ones I'm training 3 times a week, I'll try and do 9 to 12 sets. So that's so back, I'm training at the moment 3 times a week. I'll generally do 9, 12, sometimes even 15 sets per session. But overall in the week, it might just be a maximum of 36 sets to 40 sets. Yeah. And then there's been studies that say, I think it's something around the 40 set sort of mark over the week, over, whatever reps, or like the reps can be varied or whatever it may be, but 40 sets is generally a good number to aim for over a week for loading up movements and for be able to recover efficiently. So if you're doing more than 40 sets, I think it was something like from 20 sets to 40 sets, there's like good growth in terms of, you can get benefits. Beyond 40 sets, naturally, if you're doing like, say, 60 sets, there's not as much efficiency and growth gained of going beyond it as opposed to just sticking to 40 sets. Unless you're doing something else to improve your efficiency, whether it's anabolic or whatever, right? So you can do that, cool, go that path. But if you're at 40 sets, that's to me what the general range of it is. So then that sort of tracks back to daily. So that I know for chest, I'm going to do roughly 4 different workouts, different exercises that sum up to 12 to 16 sets. For back, I'll do 3 to 4 that sums up to about 12 sets. And that's how I normally do my work, like schedule the workout. And then individually, like within each one, I'll be like, okay, well, what's my personal best beforehand? I'll just try and improve it. Unless it's a very specific movement like a deadlift or a bench press or whatever, like a big lift, then I'll use all sorts of manners to structure the workout, whether it's, I really like wave loading. So wave loading training is really good, whether it's, so it's in a weekly sort of phase and you sort of change it up. So I won't explain it because it'll take heaps long. Yeah, but so I'll tell confused. People wave loading, which is undulating loading, super Super compensation training, that's awesome as well. So these are all for strength training, wave loading, super compensation training, undulating training, which is just a more general training. Those are good for strength, advanced levels.
Yeah.
Non-advanced, 5-3-1, 5x5. They're simple things. And then if more from a volume perspective, there are things like German volume training. There's what's called Mark Ripto's one. Can't remember. Just escaped my mind.
Strength.
Starting strengths. And then there's 4x8s, which is essentially it's 4 sets by 8 to 12 reps. That's a very, everyone kind of has done that at one point or another in their lives. And then focusing on compounds. So there's all those variations as like an individual.
Yeah.
But what I was going to ask you, I guess, to give a really clear picture for people for structuring a workout, I want to hear what a week workout for you is. What's a week sort of workout? Yeah.
Yep. So, like I said, goals right now, getting good at handstands.
Yep.
Just keeping, I suppose, the strength I've gained over the years and maintaining that, or if possible, getting a bit stronger.
Yep.
And I've shifted a bit from purely gaining strength, which I suppose would have characterized my years 1 to 5-ish, where I was only hitting the gym. And now it's other things are playing into it. So I realized I didn't really enjoy the gym, so I started getting into calisthenics, so I could be outside a lot more.
Yep.
And now I'm concerned about, not concerned, but I'm more aware of my overall fitness in terms of like cardio and cardiovascular performance. So I'm improving. I'm putting a bit more of that into it.
Yep.
So it looks a lot different compared to a couple of years ago. So right now, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I do handstand training. Pretty much purely handstand.
How long is it your training?
Nowadays, it'd be about 1.5 hours each session, and that'll pretty much be like 4 sets of like max hold handstands. I do 1 set of like L sits and a couple of sets of like handstand push-ups, so just working on the shoulders.
Yep.
And then the rest will be variations on handstands, just like balancing my feet in the air, trying to bring them down and do a press to stand or bring them back up. Just variations of that.
Yep.
And then at the end of that, I'll do a 1K run, because that's one of my goals, and we'll get into that very soon.
Yep.
Of why that's a goal. So I do like a little bit of cardio at the end of that session, a bit of skipping as well. Tuesdays and Thursdays I do, and I suppose even Saturdays, I'd put that all in the same category, which would be using the some weights that I own. Only have 15 kilos worth, but I, big numbers, man.
Big numbers.
Scare me. I have a weight belt, and so with that I can do push-ups, I can do pull-ups. I wouldn't do push-ups with the weights, although you can if you want. Chuck them on your back. Do pull-ups, chin-ups, attempting muscle-ups, dips, and
attempting muscle-ups is correct.
Yeah, I can't even do it with the bands still. You got stronger bands at your house.
Yeah, apparently. We're going to need to use them.
And then on Sundays, because I did train legs using only calisthenics. It's a little bit harder because your legs can take a lot more volume and you need a lot more weight.
Everything else, yep.
So for a long time I was using body weight, and it's possible, but difficult. But now on Sundays,
not ideal.
I join you and a couple of other fellas at the gym.
Yep.
And just do legs there, which is
good.
That's
cool.
How about you? What's yours?
So at the moment, the split for me is I'm structuring the workout. Monday, so I'll prelude it with I've structured the workout so that I get power. So I do 2 main days for sort of powerlifting of squats and deadlifts, because those are 2 main things I'm trying to get stronger at.
Yeah.
The other goal at the moment this month is to slightly start leaning down a little bit, so bring down the weight. So again, that's 2 polarities. There's one side, like I'm trying to lean down, but I'm also trying to get stronger.
Yeah.
Those are probably the 2 spectrums that you can kind of do a little bit. If I was trying to say to you that I'm trying to get leaner and get higher volume,
5% body fat, and still maintain your strength or get stronger.
No, not at that point. Yeah, but it's also not the goal to get a 5% at the moment. So so at the moment, Mondays morning is chest and back in the morning.
What time do you go?
No, sorry, shoulders and back. So 4:30.
4:30 in the morning.
Monday is the early day.
Yeah.
So probably even earlier. So I'm probably there earlier, to be honest with you. So shoulders and back is on Monday in the morning.
Yeah.
Afternoon is snatch, cardio, and speed benching. Yes, speed benching.
Yeah.
Then Tuesday mornings are biceps and triceps and calves.
Yeah. What time?
And accessories. Oh, that one's more like 5 a.m. You need some more chilled out time. Then Wednesday's a double day again.
Yeah.
So Wednesday morning is chest and back. And in the afternoon, it's squats, speed squats that I end up turning into just lifting heavy and hamstrings.
Yeah.
Then Thursday mornings or Thursday afternoons is deadlifts and shoulders and a little bit of back. And Friday's is day off, so I completely day off on Friday. Then Saturday I train with you in the mornings to calisthenics sort of movements, pull-ups and all that.
Yep.
And then in the afternoon, chest and back. And then Sundays I'll do legs with you guys.
Very good.
Yeah.
So very complex, but it's taken a while to get there.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. So I wouldn't recommend anybody who's just starting to do that workout at all.
No.
If you think it, not even close. And a lot of times, depending on how busy I am or stressed in the week, that is an overload sometimes. But when I'm in a pristine sort of level,
that's the best. You want to put it to like the highest level, so something to aim for. And then, be a little bit forgiving if you can't do that during the week. Yeah, no, exactly. So you wouldn't recommend people start with a 160 bench?
Oh, I think at the very least a 150. Don't go 160 straight away. 160 kilos. Yeah, it's probably just a little bit on the high. 150, easy. 150 should be like the standard. You get into the gym, and if you don't do a 150 kilo bench, you have to step back out. That's got to be easy. You're not doing sub 15 second 100 meter rows. Yeah, get out of here.
I knew I did something wrong when I first started.
That's the thing.
It's all these years later. It's showing.
It's showing.
So, how I structured my workout poorly.
But speaking of poorly, so some things I still do terribly is two things. One, stretching. I still don't stretch enough, nor warm up and warm down enough. I warm up a little bit now, more than anything, but it's going to catch up to me. So one thing I'm saying, structuring your workout. Structure, put in warm-ups, warm down, and stretching. Yeah. I don't do that enough. I'm calling myself out. I've got it as a goal monthly to just remind me to do that. So I got to do that. So that's one. But the other one is, I still don't effectively plan, and I wanted to ask you this. Do you effectively plan rest breaks and rest like weeks or whatever into your cycles? Because I tend to not do that.
Okay, so even though I know about like should intra-session, no, so taking a longer term.
Because structuring your workouts, and so when you look at it, if I was to look at that goal thing and look at it over like a year or whatever, you should be taking. Normally, the suggestion is for every sort of 2-3 months of this is lifting, gym lifting. You should take around a week or 2 weeks off. When you're doing sort of a powerlifting comp, you normally will train and actually take a week off before the powerlifting comp. After bodybuilding competition, you normally take a month off afterwards or something like that to recover. So there is that recovery period that's needed. At the moment, how I plan for it is whenever I go on a holiday. It's whenever I go on a holiday or I get sick or something. That's when I stop. Which is a bad thing. I should plan for it. People should plan for the breaks. At the moment, I don't. But I was going to ask you if you do at all.
To be honest, I've only ever done one deload week. And that was interesting. It was good doing that. However, I've kept a log of every single workout I've ever done, apart from maybe 2 chest sessions I've done in the past month with you, where I was like, I just don't feel like recording this.
Okay,
So I have like 6.5 years worth of data showing everything I've done and how much sessions I've done. So I've seen I started off, I was doing about 3 days a week. So over a year, that should be about 150. I was probably only doing, but I was still missing sessions, had university, had other stuff going on. So I probably only did, I think it was probably about 100 in my first year.
Okay.
And I've noticed it's gradually getting up. So 100 first year, like 110, 130. Then I started getting a bit more serious, planning to do 4 sessions a week. So I was getting to the 150. And then now it's a lot more than that. So I'm planning every
Every day.
Every day. And yeah, I'm not really putting in rest breaks, but I am noticing. So one of my long-term goals as well is to do 80% of my workout. So essentially work out like a little bit over 300 days in the year. And even not putting in rest breaks, I'm still going to struggle to hit it. So I'm missing stuff here and there. But no, I haven't really planned in like a full week off, for example.
Which is something I think like it's actually needed. Like I'm going to call us both out. Like we don't do it, but it is needed in structuring workouts as well. Because you just likewise, and I'm not saying say that train once and then take 5 days off and then train again and then take I'm saying train hard for a few months and then plan an effective deload week or a whole week off and then go hard at it again just to be able to reset yourself to go, okay, cool. That whole week you'll be like, oh, I really want to get back to swimming or running or gym or whatever. Yeah. And then when you get back into it, you'll be like, cool, I'm fresh, ready to go. Another week to kind of prep yourself back up to what you're doing and then just go from there. So
and that is hard because, like you said before,
mentally.
You were talking about being sick and still feeling guilty about missing a session. It's hard.
What about when you're not sick and you're literally like you're staying away?
Yeah. So maybe that's something we both need to.
We're mere mortals.
That's it. Trying to get better though.
Yeah, I've just got some final successes as well that I've got here that I've noted down before we sort of close on the structuring the workout and talk about the second piece of why we got some points here and why you're only on 1 and I'm on 2. So I think for me, I think successful is that planning it monthly has really worked out well, as opposed to planning it weekly or planning it fortnightly or planning it every 3 months. I think monthly feels like a good sort of schedule for training wise because it also fits with my other goals and everything in terms of my planning sectors. So that's been good.
Same with me.
The other one as well was from this is pure lifting perspective. I think a focus on just strength over everything has been really good. So rather than focusing on body composition or volume training or whatever, just focusing on getting like all your compound lifts, all your main lifts, just really strong. Yeah. Like to me is relative to having a good physique, a good composition, and sets up everything else. So as long as I know that I'm able to get really good, strong numbers on the basics like a squat or an Olympic lift or a bench or whatever, that will set up a good base foundation for anything else I do. So, it's probably like, it's more often than not that you'll see someone who's a really strong squatter to be a good runner, but not really a good runner or speed runner that's not very good at squats or like a heavy squat or something like that. That sort of correlation. So I think for me, it's been, have a good strength focus, and that I've been doing now for like a couple of months now, or years now, and I think that's paid well in terms of everything else. So I think there's only 2 other things out there.
Okay. For me, I suppose now that you were mentioning it, basics. Doing the basics really well is the building blocks of being able to get to the higher levels of whatever it is that you want. So, and this is applicable to everything. You want to get good at swimming and be able to hit those peak times. You can't neglect doing breaststroke and then doing some sort of weird underwater swimming to get to that level. So say you want to be a free diver, for example, you probably want to have a good, decent free breaststroke or something like that. Just the basics. So
the basic, the technique, the movement pattern.
And those are easy to figure out. You just go online, find what most people say is the basics or what most people focus on. And that'll be your core. I feel that should be the core of your workout. If you want to do other small things on the side, that's cool. But that I feel hitting those basics is
definitely
critical thing.
I think to finish it off, structuring a workout, if you want to find out more details, I would suggest, and I'll put it on the show notes as well, going on google.com and just search.
What's that?
Just go to google.com and literally just search whatever it is, whatever workout you want to do. There is a bazillion information points about this. There's going to be an overload. So figure out your goal, figure out what your sort of structure cycle is going to be, what time period, figure out how you're going to measure. Then just go to Google and literally Google how to get to 100 kilo bench press in
Yeah.
whatever, figure out, get a whatever setup of session. So whether it's a 5-3-2-1, whether it's GVT, whatever, pick something, stick to it, do it for that a lot of time, see how it went, then just revamp on it, look back, pick it up again, change to another workout, change to another theme, and just measure it through.
You know what's going to happen? Someone's going to do that, and then the first thing they'll see is like, oh yeah, you want to get to 200 kilo squat. What you should do is you get an exercise ball, you jump on that, put on, 90% of your max weight, and then start doing those.
And then start doing it on there. Yeah. And then when you get off the ball, you'll be doing 120%. Super compensation.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I mean, if someone actually wants, they can actually comment and ask what they actually are going for. We'll recommend them something. We can also do that if you feel like you're going to pick up some random bogus person that's going to tell you to stand the ball. So we can also do that.
For sure. One, why are you on 2 and why am I on 1? So, what are these points here?
So this is the second. So it kind of falls a little bit into structuring the workout. A little bit, there's more into a yearly level.
Yeah.
So this was your baby idea. That came out of your yearly goals. And it was in essence a year challenge in terms of lifting. And what it comprises of is 10 different things. So it's 10 different movement patterns. 11?
11 with the rowing at the end.
Okay. Yeah. So there's 11 different movement patterns across things like rowing, running, lifting, calisthenics. So it's 11 movement patterns that we've decided for a whole year we're going to be aiming towards to try to improve ourselves. And we're doing this across both myself and Kyrin. We're doing it with a couple of friends as well. And we've got some points allotted to it. It's a little bit, maybe we can talk about the detail of it and how it sort of talks into.
You can. I'll do that in a separate thing.
Okay.
Essentially, there's 100 points to get throughout the year. So, as you mentioned, we have 11 exercises. We've only kept one constant for all of us, which is the rowing. And we've put in 100 meters, 250, 500, and 1,000 meters.
We've confirmed, and we've already confirmed that we've got some insane times on there that is not going to be achieved anytime soon.
No, that's going to require a year's worth of effort to even get close to that.
Get close to that,
And then, as you mentioned, it goes across varying exercises and ways of working out. But it's personalized as well. So it, especially for me and you, it'd be very hard to get a single exercise and say, this is, try and have one thing that you can do that I can do that's at the same level.
At the same level,
I'm not going to be hitting 160 kg bench press anytime soon. So, still too hard
That's
for me.
The minimum to get into the gym. That's the minimum doesn't like big numbers.
Damn it. No, I hate them. I like the negatives.
Yeah, no, so I like the idea. And essentially, so the points we got up here is because Kyrin was able to get one of his points out of the 100. Which one was it?
It was a one-pointer of doing 15 kg pull-ups. So that's a weight belt with 15 kgs attached. Doing that for 9 reps.
9 reps. That's a good effort. That's a good effort. Yeah,
and that's a PB. So with every single one of these exercises, we've sort of split it into 3 levels. There's one which is a PB,
your personal best,
just above where you're roughly at. 2, which is like, this is going to be hard, but I could see myself improving to this level within a year. And 3 is like, oh god, man, I'm going to have to break my back to get to this level.
To get to this level,
and do it. And we've structured the points so that they're worth more accordingly the higher you go. So if you do that back breaking, I don't know what it is for you. For me, it'd be like, what are the times? So I'll choose my running ones, for example. So I want to do a 1K run in 3 minutes 45 would be my good PB. 3 minutes 30 would be
great.
Pretty
2
good.
Points.
Pretty damn good. And then 3 minutes 15
would be exceptional. 3 points.
And which is depressing because when you watch marathon people
running it at sub 3 minutes.
Every single over 42 Ks, that's a bit depressing, but
just slightly. Is it 42 Ks?
I'm pretty sure it's 42.
Pretty sure it's 42 point something.
Whatever.
It's not just 42
No,
Ks. Get your facts right, Aleph Null. So,
Aleph Null.
all right, so you're on 1 point out of 100.
I got 1 point. Yeah. How'd you get you?
So I'm on 2 points, and I got them today on my squat. So my 1 point was 180 kilos for 8 reps.
Yep.
I felt like my soul departed on rep 6.
Yeah, you would.
Rep 7. I was transcended the mortal plane. I was beyond a mere mortal. I was literally gone beyond and 8.
Watch out, Zeus.
I went back. I landed back in my body and I fell over. But I got 8 reps.
Nice.
So that was one of them. And then I missed my muscle ups one, which was close. But I got
you were very close.
handstand push ups. So I got 26. Nice. Had to get over 25. Over 25. So Kyrin down, for everyone who wants to see the video of this, just tune into whatever time we're in. He believes that 25 means greater than or equal to. So, and he will try to defend it by the fact that Excel, that he's saying that Excel is hard to input this little sign, but he's just talking nonsense. So he has no idea what's going on. He has no idea. He has no idea. So
already making excuses.
So 2 points there. So I'm beating you by 100%.
That's fine.
Beating by twice as much.
My monthly goal for this month, because we started October 14th.
Yep.
So we're going to October 13th.
Yep.
Next year. Mm-hmm. So I've got 2 weeks roughly in this month to go for, and I'm going to try and get 5 points.
Ooh, 5 points. So I don't even know where I'm going to find mine.
Next episode, I really need to be on probably 2 or 3 at least, and trying to get those last couple for this month.
Yep.
And then we were talking about it. The way we've structured the whole thing, the 100 points, you're gonna get a collection of big pointers at the end of the year, which are those super hard things to achieve. And then we've also added a multiplier for 5 of the exercises, which are like the core ones we really want to improve on. So there's going to be some of them where you can get 6 points if you do this one particular thing.
Yeah, that's right.
So this is going to be a very slow progress
until it starts picking up really quick.
Then you might see getting into the end part of next year, we will hopefully be hitting some, just jumping up from 33 to.
I'm going to call 39. It right now. If we hit if anyone hits 100 points, I will be amazed beyond belief, because there was some in there that are just like the rowing and the run that will be like, it'll take a whole heart to get that.
Agreed. If I hit 80, I will be like super happy.
Yeah.
Super happy.
Yeah, I think I'm thinking above 80%. That's a good effort. So
I thought you were gonna say like, above 100 would be bare minimum for me.
Just going for 200. Just going for 200.
Still points from other people.
Yeah, I'll just do that. My points equal. Like if I do yours, it's already mine. So I'm already on 400. So it's fine. But yeah, that was structuring your workout. That was episode 6. Yeah. Is there any other bits and tidbits that you want to sort of share with the people at home?
No, I'm all good.
Excellent.
I'm done.
Well, that is all from me.
Cool.
That's it. One out.
Kyrin out.